Terrible. Hot, fresh coffee. Good job. Right, let's get caught up. Bear with me, people. How's the camera? We good? Oh, there we go. There's the thumbnail. Right, let's see who's in the workshop. Volume, go away. Who have we got? Simon. Good morning, Simon. Simon says, morning, Andy and crew. It's 9:20 p.m. UK time. What? This is the first time I've stopped since 7 a.m. So you were 10 minutes early to the live stream, Simon. That's probably about 12 minutes earlier than me. Good job, mate. Who else have we got? We've got one comment. Oh, is it a clocks change thing in the UK? What is it? I don't know. Hey, bit of a revelation today, actually. Yeah. The time has come to put the Wild Bean Cafe alternative steak and cheese pie to the test. Now, I'm not talking about the gourmet steak and cheese that they offer, which is my go-to pie. I'm not talking about the standard steak and cheese pie, which is about $1.20 cheaper and smaller and not as good. Fair enough. I'm talking about a third variant to the steak and cheese family offered by the Wild Bean Cafe. It was almost like an advert, wasn't it? It's pretty smooth. Mike Bazansky, good morning. All, I'm back. Well done, Mike. I hope the ankle leg is, well, you've been riding the bike now, so it shouldn't be far off fixed. Simon, clocks have not changed yet in the UK. I'm only pulling your leg, Simon. Of course I knew that. JJ, morning, Andy and crew. Morning, JJ. Good to see you, mate. Sheldon is in the workshop. Good morning, Mr. Mechanic and crew. Good morning, Sheldon. I had a long conversation with Sheldon yesterday. Pretty much got rained off, actually. A good segue. Thanks, Sheldon. Pretty much got rained off. Well, realistically, it's been raining hard all week. It didn't bother me in the slightest during the week. Not really. But on Saturday, normally I would come out to the workshop and do things. Didn't happen. It was like a monsoon continuously. We had just tremendously heavy rain, and sometimes it was pretty windy as well, and it was cold. It just wasn't a place, well, not as cold as it would be in the UK, obviously. But, you know, it wasn't particularly nice. So I decided, took a management decision, which is pretty rare for me these days. I decided to work. Yes, work, doing admin work for my employer all day Saturday. Because I couldn't really go outside. Thought I'll do that because there's some stuff I need to get done, like, well, yesterday, really. It was way overdue. So I spent from 8 a.m., I think it was, until about 3:30 doing this said admin work. And I did pretty well. I got a lot of it done. There's still some other stuff to do, but the main chunk of it's sorted now, which is a bit of a relief for me, so it's peace of mind. But it does also mean that, you know, I'll hopefully be able to take a day in lieu next week, so I can maybe finish on Thursday and take the Friday off. But at 3:30, the sun came out. Momentarily, the sun came out, so we thought, right, Trevor the tractor in action, whizzed outside, and we've been doing some concreting. I might be able to show you a photo now, actually. I don't think there's anything you shouldn't see in the picture. Bear with me, people. Bear with me. I know I took a photo yesterday. Where's it gone? I sent it to Sheldon. Ah, there we are. Right. Yes, you can see that. So that's the concreting that I know it's not focused. But that's the concreting we've done. Let me zoom in a little bit. There you go. It's probably about 5 feet across at the widest end. It's triangular, basically. And then it goes up to about maybe a foot, maybe just under a foot at the far end. And the length is probably, well, actually, it's about 6 down the, not the right angle corner, but down the diagonally bit, which we used for shuttering. It was probably about 6.4 meters to be exact, ish. And then yesterday, our job was we'd had to dig, obviously dig it all out. And there was a bit of additional digging out because I got carried away in Trevor the tractor when I was doing the digging. And we had to obviously backfill some of the soil back up to the concrete. Oh, and the gate post's in. This is only a temporary gate, by the way. But that's the gate post, which is a 1 by 1 foot section, treated timber. So it's designed to go in the ground. It is very much in the ground. It's not going anywhere now. And one of my next jobs is to make some new timber gates. And I'm going to use 100 by 100 section, which is the same stuff we use for the carports, but make some nice steel brackets that go on either side, like the old traditional sort of barns and stuff, that all bolt together, spray them black, and bolt them up. Job done. So yes, that's another little task for some point in the future. So I rushed out for half an hour with Mrs. Mechanic. We got it all filled in, leveled off and stuff. And then of course the heavens opened again, and I came into the workshop actually after that, and I had some spraying to do. And that's when Sheldon messaged me. I was just about to start spraying, and 45 minutes later, I get to start spraying. I enjoyed that conversation very much, but the day did drag on a little bit after that. But no, good to hear from you, Sheldon. It was, and they're all done. I mean, I've got another coat to do this morning. You may ask me what I'm doing. Well, I can discuss it, but only generically. You realise that. So these are, on a motorcycle, you can have a main stand, or you can have a side stand, normally on the left. If it's a farm special, like on the video, on the trip, those farm bikes have 2 side stands, one on the left, one on the right. So they don't have a main stand. Anyway, we digress. The side stand required, bear with me, I have a prop, hang on. Yes, hadn't really planned on discussing this, but as luck would have it, I made an extra part. Now, on these side stands, as you well know, modern bikes have a side stand switch. That's designed to compensate for the incompetency of the rider. Normally, you'd put the side stand up when you want to set off on said motorcycle. However, some riders forget. Don't understand how they can forget. It's sort of a natural thing. As you bring the bike up vertical, your left leg kicks the side stand up, and away you go. It's sort of part of getting on the bike. It's a natural thing. But hey, for safety, because it's not very nice if you're riding along with the side stands down and you go into a left-hand corner, things can get pretty bad pretty quick. So I understand why we have side stand switches. However, this particular motorcycle that I'm working on has to have 2. It does. And the side stand switch, the standard one, the original one, basically there's a little plunger on it, and the plunger either extends or it goes in. I can't bloody remember. I think it extends. But it changes state. It's a switch. Okay, that's all we need to know. And the plunger runs on usually on this particular bike, runs on what we call a cam. And a cam is just like a radiused surface like that. Okay, so that's, if you imagine a cam shaft, it has a lobe. And of course, that could well be, the top of the lobe, couldn't it? The peak of the lobe. So this particular bike needs 2 side stand switches. Don't ask me why, I can't discuss that. But to facilitate that, I had to make an additional or extend the cam. And this is 20 millimeters wide. It has a, about 24 mil, 24 point, I wrote it down somewhere. It doesn't matter. 22.4 diameter in there. And it's about 3 mil thick. And it took a little bit of making, to be honest, because it's not a continuous radius. It sort of, this bit's obviously flat. And then you've got basically a straight ramp, and then you've got the radius. So it was a bit tricky. I got it right first time, which was nice. But I had to make, including this one, I made 8 of them. And, obviously, you've got to get them looking spot on. When they're welded on, And you know, obviously you put a groove in there on the side, so when you a gusset, you know, a valley I call it. And once you've done the welding, you flatten all the welding off, you know, all the weld to make it all nice and smooth and everything, so it looks like one piece. And in all honesty, they came out. I'd love to show you them, but I can't. They're of a particular brand that can't be mentioned on the channel. Turned out brilliantly. First time I've had to do this particular task. Normally the chap that does these, Dave, he is unfortunately off work at the moment because he did have a pretty serious accident on his motorcycle, and we all, I'm sure, wish him the best of, you know, returning back to best of health. He is on a fast recovery. He's done this a few times. He's pretty much an expert on crashing. It was on a racetrack. It wasn't on the road, but it wasn't actually his fault. He's lucky to still be. I think he was doing they reckon he was doing about 230 kilometers an hour when he came off the bike, and there was a guy in front, or slightly in front, just in front of him, and he basically clipped his front wheel. So as I went into a corner, Dave was saying, the rear tire of the guy in front on the bike, Dave was coming up hard, braking late as always, coming up hard, and this guy basically stood on the brakes, and he just to say clipped the back wheel of the guy in front, and that threw Dave straight over the bars and cartwheel down the track, and he was pretty beaten up, poor chap. And actually, it was Dave that I bought the little Myford lathe from. So there you go, a bit of a link. Where did we get to? I have no idea. Andy rambles on all sorts of stuff. So all that came from Sheldon's comment. What the hell? Peter Swatman. Hi, Andy and crew. Good morning, Peter. Oh, Sheldon's back. West Coast has had a ton of rain. Down here, ski fields, 1 meter dump of snow. That'd be very happy. There'll be a lot of tourists down there now. So New Zealand's had plenty of water lately then. Yes, I reckon they could probably have a longer shower than 4 minutes in Auckland now, probably, maybe. There's been a water shortage in Auckland, according to the radio, for like the last 2 years. It's ridiculous. Too many people. Too many people for the infrastructure. Simon was thinking about the steel gate. What about a steel frame that infills with wood planks? I know I could easily weld up a box section frame, but I'd prefer the sort of the rugged, timbery kind of a, you know, framework, and just use the steel for the plates, like you do on the roofing beams and stuff in the old buildings with the oak beams and stuff. You know, you use the big steel plates and the bolts that go through. I want to try and replicate that. I could. Talking of steel prices here in New Zealand are currently astronomical. I priced up, you're going to laugh now, I priced up some more tube and box section to replace what I've used. So I've got it in stock for doing the go-kart. God, I've got loads of lights out in here at the moment. So I priced up, so the box section was 40 by 40 by 4mm wall, and I did 10 lengths at 8 meters. They chop it in half, so it's 20 lengths at 4 meters. That's a lot of box section. That's sort of my go-to box section. I'm pretty much completely out, so I thought I'll stock up. So that was 10 lengths, 10 8-meter lengths. That's 80 meters of 40 by 40 by 4, black they call it. So as you've seen on the videos, there's no coating on it. It's just bare. I think it has a slight film of oil, but that's about it. And then some more tube. Tube comes in 5.5 meter lengths, which is a bit weird. And I think I've got like 2 lengths of each, and there's 3 sizes, so 6 lengths of tube essentially. And a cutoff that I need to make for the frame for the air compressors, which has completely changed again. But that's basically 2 bits of box, rectangular box, which is what the forks will go in on Trevor the tractor, and then they're going to be strong enough to be the spine of the pallet that I'm building. That all 3 air compressors will be bolted to. So that was a 2.4 meter length of 100 and, was it 100 by 75? Or was it 150 by 75? I think it was 150 by 75 from memory. 6mm wall, so pretty hefty stuff, but it's just what they had kicking around. I'd have gone for 5mm really, but anyway. So all of that together, wait for it, just under 3,000 New Zealand dollars. 3 grand. The lady rang me up and said, "Hey, do you know how much this is going to be?" And I said, "I have no idea. That's why you're sending me an estimate, a quote." And she said, it's about 3 grand. And I says, "Well, that's not going to happen." So we took off the round tube. Forget that. I might just have enough kicking around to do the go-kart. And the box section, I think I dropped that down to like 4 lengths, and it came down to something like $1,100 or something. Still a lot of money. And I asked her, says, "Man, this has gone up a lot." And she said, "Yes, it has." And they reckon it had gone up by 30% since the 1st of January, steel cost. And I mean, I didn't buy that tube and box section. It must have been 18 months ago at least that I bought it. And it was a hell of a lot cheaper. I know I didn't buy as much, obviously, but, you know, I didn't think at the time, geez, that's expensive. Somebody sent me a message. What the hell? I'm doing a live stream. Oh, pardon me. Oh, no, they haven't. It's just Google saying there's some memory photos. Nice. Where do we get to? I have no idea. So there you go. Simon. We managed to get from why don't you make the gate out of steel to prices of steel in New Zealand. We do some rabbit holes, don't we? But no, that's the style of gate that I want. So, you know, I'm not going to do woodworking. Well, I don't know. See how brave I'm going to be. I might do woodworking joints as well, and then bolt through it. But there's not really much point. It'd be a waste of time. I tend to get a bit carried away with that kind of stuff. Mike Buzanski, when does Trevor get his next service? Be a good video. Trevor has done, I think yesterday it was showing about 30.5 hours on the hour meter, which is on the dash. His first service is due at 50 hours. The way things are going, it's probably going to be near as, damn it, exactly 1 year old. Honestly, Trevor will be a year old. 50 hours in a year is not a lot of use, I understand that. But he's been incredibly useful, and it's been, in the main, it's been lots of short bits of usage, you know, just be 10, 15 minutes, maybe half an hour here and there. I've not been on it using the tractor all day long, not yet. Although I did spend probably a good hour and a half, maybe 2 hours when we were digging out for that concrete slab. That was probably the longest I'd used it in you know, continuously. And I was using the back hoe, which was great. Can't beat a good hoe. Sorry, Mrs. Mechanic. She might be watching. I'm talking about the arm on the rear of the tractor, honey. Where do we get to? So Mike, yes, I might be doing the service myself. I probably will be. Pretty simple. And yes, it'll make a good video. Watching Andy bumble around trying to service a tractor. I have serviced the odd tractor in the past, and I actually repaired one the other day. I went out to a young lad that works for the same company that I work for. He was given an old, I think it's an old International, not sure, a very old tractor, very, very old. And he wanted me to show him how to change the thermostat. So we did. We did like a little lecture, a little lesson, a practical lesson, and he thoroughly enjoyed it. He's not very mechanically minded, but he's very eager and keen to learn. So it was a really good afternoon actually doing that. I say afternoon because it was quite rusty and needed a lot of cleaning up. And I showed him how to make a gasket. He bought some gasket paper, and I showed him how to make a gasket just by tapping it with a hammer around the casting. And he thought that was incredible, which it is. It's a good little skill. So he learned something as well. He learned a skill that he can now keep for life, how to make gaskets. Simon, steel prices in the UK have gone up, but not that much. It's fuel that shot up. Petrol is £1.84 a litre and still going up. Yeah, it's basically $3 a litre now for the basic 91 octane fuel here. Diesel is still creeping up. Highest I've seen it now is about $2.87 per litre. And you can get it, about the cheapest I've seen it is about $2.64, something like that. However, bear in mind, diesel vehicles in New Zealand have to also pay road user charges. The petrol cars don't. And the last time I bought road user charges was for the Ranger. 20,000 kilometers was approximately $2,500. So, what does that add? Let's have a little breakup on that one. Simon's probably already worked it out, calculator. So 20,000, no, sorry, 2,500 divided by 20,000. I should be able to work that out. Oh, that came up wrong. Divided by. Anyway, it's, I can't even work that one out. Anyway, so it's, what is it about? Working out in my head. 20,000 Ks, $2,500. So it's about what, 12.5 cents a kilometer or something like that. I think, maybe. Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know. In addition, per kilometer, so you multiply that by whatever. Bloody expensive, in all honesty. Luckily, I don't have to pay for any of it. Not impressed at all. So diesel vehicles at the moment are, pretty expensive to run over here. But what else could you use? If you used a petrol ute, it would consume tremendous amounts more petrol. And well, hybrids are completely out of the question, aren't they? You're not going to charge up a ute and do what I do with it. Not at the moment. Not with current technology. I'm going to tow that trailer around. I have to put a big generator on the trailer, won't I? Where do we get to? Simon again. We are just getting an increase in tax, Simon. Yes. Or you could say, anyway, you can read it. Connor K. Greetings, Andy and crew. Just made it back from the pub. Good man. Important business completed. Absolute best kind of business happens at pubs. That's for sure. I have clicked the like. Good man, Connor. Thank you for that. Connor's setting an excellent example of what you should do when you're watching a live stream. You should click the like. Only 7 other people have done that so far. So, what the hell, people? Oh, Harry. Harry got my Dodge Dakota fixed. Fuel pump, wasn't it? Had to take the whole bed off to fix it, though. Wow. Talking about rotten, the gas filler neck only had one hole left to hold it to the body. Jeez, yeah, filler necks. They used to rot out quite a lot on the old patrols, I think, as well. The ones we had in the UK. Fuel pump was a pain. What do you got to the hub? Why don't they put like an inspection plate in the bed of the ute? You know, I mean, the tray they call it, don't they? Crazy. I'll take the whole back off. Ridiculous. Couldn't you? I suppose that was maybe easier than dropping the fuel tank, maybe. Anyway, you're all waiting to hear about this pie. Mrs. Mechanic tells me I rumble on way too... Jeez! Well, there goes the pen. We'll have to retrieve that later. Mrs. Mechanic tells me I ramble on way too much before I put the pie in the pie warmer. So, I've been rambling on for 23 minutes and 26 seconds. That's probably enough. So, this pie is from one of my favourite stores, the Wild Bean Cafe. Not a sponsor, but they can be if they want to be, if they're listening, which is highly unlikely. This is, so Wild Bean Cafe tell me, a beef and cheese, not steak and cheese, by the way, a beef and cheese pie. Did I put beef and cheese pie on the thumbnail? I think I did. I did. Oh, professional. So, this is a beef and cheese pie. What do you think? Any good? We don't know yet, do we? We're going to find out. But its integrity, its structural integrity, is pretty damn good. However, there's a twist. And it goes against every single grain in my body. Grain, blood cell, whatever you want to call it. It didn't come from a cow or a bull. It came from plants. I mean, really? A beef pie? They're calling it beef pie made from plants. Doesn't the word beef actually denote that it came from a cow or a bull? I don't know. Do you eat bull? Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. So, you know, there's no beef in here. It's plantain cheese. I have to give it the benefit of the doubt, but I'm going to take you guys on a very, very special journey this morning. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get it in the pie warmer. It is a pie. There's no doubt about that. It looks like a pie. It's made of pastry and stuff, but is it really a beef and cheese pie? I don't know. Come on, let's go and do this. Right, I'm going to turn you around, and there's nothing in view now that you shouldn't see, so we're all good. Remember last weekend? Ooh. Okay, here we go. Oh. Okay, there we go, look. Excellent camera work, Andy. Dum 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 dum. Dum dum dum. I'm dreading this. I shouldn't dread it. I should keep a very open mind. But I don't want to, because I like moo cow, to be honest. Right, in it goes. Shut the door. Knees are clean. Let's get it cranked up. It might cook quicker. I don't know. It might get overcooked. We'll have to maybe check on it later on. Okay, so the pie is in. What else? Well, while we're up in... Oh, look! We've got a parcel. Cool. Let's find out what's in here. Oh, geez. Right, turn you around again. Boom. Okay, so you may remember last weekend a parcel turned up from Mum for my 50th birthday. It was a little bit late, but that wasn't her fault. It's just the way things are in New Zealand. We're a little bit behind on when it comes to freight and stuff. There we go, that'll work. I think you've got plenty of battery in there, so you should be fine. Geez, yeah, so she sent me a parcel, and in that parcel were 2 books. Jupiter's Travels and the sequel, whatever that, I forgot the name of it now, by Ted Simon, a great guy who did many miles around the world on an old Triumph motorcycle. And I remember reading the first book when I was a child, a teenager, thoroughly enjoyed it. So Mum thought, great, perfect 50th birthday, we'll get them signed and send them out. And they're in the house and ready to be read, but I've not had a chance to start yet. This looks like the second parcel. Now, the reason why I say that, we'll get rid of that smelly, horrible cigarette thing, because I'm going to cover his address up. There he is. It's been sent by Ted Simon. So what else could Ted send me? It feels like another book. It feels very rigid. Let's find out. So, Mum, if you're watching, I got the second parcel. Okay, I didn't bring my knife with me, so we're going to have to just open this traditionally. I want to try and save the bag if I can. So I'll save the envelope, which might not be possible. Jeez. Okay, hang on. Bear with me, people. Bear with me. It's sort of weird. I need my knife. Hang on, guys. Bear with me. One knife coming up. Yes, it was where it lives. We have the knife. Okay. Right, that's better. Holy moly, it really is wrapped up. Oh, God. Okay, that might work. This is a very strange method of wrapping. Trying to work it out. Sorry, people. It's obviously an envelope made in France. Oh, I see what he's done. I see what he's done. Hang on a minute. I think the envelope might die now. Be super careful not to catch the book inside. Hang on, hang on, hang on. We're getting there. I know you can't see this bit, but it's quite technical actually. Oh, the hell with it. Right. We're going in. Wow. Okay. What have we got? Oh, look at that. to camera, neat to camera. Wow. You get rid of that. Any checks? No, no checks. So we're just checking. There we go, look. Look at that. Jupiter's Travels in camera. Right, let's get you turned around and have a look at this one. This is cool. Very, very cool, in fact. You're going to have to forgive the reflections because it's just the way it's going to be. Wasn't planned. So what have we got? Trying to gain as much bench space as possible. Push the old laptop back a bit. There we go. Going in. Oh my word. Your mother asked me to include this message to you. Oh, good job, Mum. Inspirational reading for my inspirational son as you celebrate your 50th birthday year. Follow your dreams, Andrew, wherever it may take you. Have many more adventures. Make wonderful, happy memories. Good fortune be always with you as you travel life's highway and keep you safe. My thoughts and my love go with you. Mum. 5 kisses. Cheers, Mum. Look at that. That's awesome. Thank you, Mum. Really, really appreciate that. 12th of the 5th, 2022. Signed by Ted Simon. Bloody good. Right. Let's have a little look inside. Jupiter's Travels in camera. I remember there were a few photos in the normal book, but obviously this is very, very special. The photographic record of Ted Simon's celebrated round the world motorcycle journey. Nice. There he is. That's the guy. That's exactly how I remember him. I remember that. I remember that photo actually. See, the old headlights had a bit of a battering there. Now I'm not going to show you the whole book, but oh, look at that. Very cool. He's got all his gear laid out that he took with him, all his spares. And there's the route. Wow. You're going to have to check this out for yourselves, people, because I can't... Oh, he never made it to New Zealand, though. Look at that. See, I've done the New Zealand stretch for him. Perfect. That's a fair trip, isn't it? I actually don't really remember the route that he took, so that map is really, really cool. Oh, he did do New Zealand. There, look. But he flew in and flew out. He didn't actually do any of the roads. Berth the bike, loading up. Oh, it starts right from the beginning. Fantastic. Well, there you go, people. That's as far as you're going to see. You're going to have to buy the book yourself. And Ted Simon is not a sponsor to the channel, by the way. Mum has paid for this and sent it through. And I'm very, very, very pleased that she has. Thank you very much, Mum. Top Mum. Best mum in the world, in all honesty. Right. Where do we get to? I don't know. I have no idea. Pie's in. There's going to be a heap of comments to get through again, so just bear with me. You need to be level. You're not level. Dum, 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 dum. There we go. Bit of coffee. Don't spill the coffee. That works. That's better. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this somewhere safe with the insert, just so we don't lose that. Again, thank you very, very much, Mum. I will treasure this, as the other 2 books I will as well, but man, I've got a lot of reading to do now, haven't I? This is going to be great. Looking forward to that. I'll have to just keep part of the package. I like to keep the packaging sometimes as well, because it's sort of part of the history of the book and how it got to me, you know. So where do we get to? Harry Dowd, no inspection in Florida. Oh, you're lucky then, aren't you, really, mate? Giving all the rust on it. Simon, have to admit, some of the meat-free meat is not... Simon, how can you say that? Have you even tried? I mean, obviously you've tried it. I mean, that's a major step from being a meat eater, a carnivore, you know? I don't. I mean, what do they call it? You can buy that sort of meaty stuff. I don't even know the name of it. Like little blocks. Nah. Tofu. That's the word. Tofu. Nasty. Who really came up with that idea? I mean, look, if it's a plant, keep it as a plant. Cook it. Call it a vegetable, whatever it is. That's fine. But why try to make it out to be something that it's not? It's not beef. They could call it a pie that tastes a bit like beef with some cheese. I know it's a long title, but you wouldn't get into the realms of trade descriptions and stuff. If it says the word beef, it has to be beef. You could call it beef flavour and cheese pie. That would work. But, to all intents and purposes, it's not beef, is it? That's the discussion for today. What is beef? Definition: comes from a cow. It has to be beef. Honestly, that's my take on it. Mike Bazansky, veggie beef, blasphemy. I agree completely. Sheldon, a beef pie made from veggies. I know. It doesn't stack up. Mike Bazansky, veggies, that's what my food eats. Correct. I mean, isn't that why we have moo cows? To convert the vegetable, the grass, into something that tastes proper? Simon, so what's the ingredients in the pie? Pea protein and yeast extract? I don't know what it is. I've tried to Google it on the Wild Bean Cafe website. Feel free to give it a go yourself. I put in there, what was it? Beef and cheese pie, not meat, whatever. I've been on the website. I actually can't find any information around it. You don't get any ingredients at the store. It's just a generic bag, as you well know. So we're going into this blind, people. I could be eating anything. Anything at all. I don't know what it's going to taste like. I mean, if it tastes fantastic, if it tastes amazing and it scores really well, then the only proof that is, the only thing that it really confirms is that this whole world has just completely turned to shit, hasn't it? Once a beef pie is no longer made of beef, we might as well just give up, in all honesty. What's the point? I want a beef, I want a steak, I want a moo cow and cheese pie. That's what I want. I don't want to be made of bloody vegetables. But hey, I have to test it. For you. I'm doing this for you, the viewers. If it was me, I wouldn't go anywhere near it, believe me. Oh, there we go. Peter Swatman, usually quite nasty chemicals. I sincerely hope not. Sheldon, is it raining hard out there again? It's just started. I'm sure you can hear it. It's pissing it down at the moment. Mike Bazansky, awesome gift. Birthdays often not as exciting as when we were young. No, I remember when I was 16 years old, I was bought a DT50. Now, bearing in mind, my motorcycle for the off-road at the time was a Suzuki Beamish 250, which went pretty well for a 15-year-old. It went quick enough. I fell off it plenty of times, so it went fast enough for me. And then had to go from that on a weekend onto my DT50 during the week. Top speed of, 33 miles an hour or something if you were laid over the tank. It was pretty painfully slow, in all honesty. But it did get me from A to B, and it gave me my own personal transport. So thank you, Mum and Dad. I really, really appreciate that. As soon as I got to 17, I upgraded to a DT125R. Phenomenal machine with, what was originally a static power valve. It had a power valve in it, but it was inoperative. It didn't have the servo and stuff because, it was a learner bike and had to be under, 12 horsepower or something dumb? Well, believe me, that power valve didn't stay static for very long. And it involved the fitment. I did modify it, and I used a plastic knob off a deck chair, some kind of chair, outside chair. So if you ever wonder where that went, Mum, it was me. I pinched it. I used that and a bit of M6 threaded rod and made it up so I could actually move the power valve manually whilst riding. And I put 2 lines on it with a marker pen. One was the standard position, if that was in the vertical orientation. And then if you turned it a few degrees, probably about 20 degrees, 30 degrees or something it was, when the second line was vertical, that was maximum opening of the power valve. And it was fun because you could just set it to the maximum opening and then set off, and it was used to bog down a bit, and all of a sudden it would go crack as the revs picked up, and boom, instant wheelie every single time. It was brilliant. I remember riding alongside this lad on it must have been a road bike 125. I think it was a Kawasaki or a Suzuki or something. And it was a single cylinder, I think, his, same as mine, probably a two-stroke. And we were riding into York, and we were sort of racing a little bit, but at this point in time I hadn't used a power valve, was in the standard position, and we were both sort of tapped out, flat out down the dual carriageway, pretty much even pegging. I think he was just to say creeping away from me, because obviously the rolling resistance of his bike was a little bit less than a dirt bike, and he was looking at me and he kept looking across, and I took my left hand off the handlebars and I went, like this, and he went, huh? And I reached down, turned the power valve, and off I went, just disappeared, left him for dust. So much fun. I love that bike. Had it 9 months, and then some gypsies stole it. Bastards, honestly, jippos, stealing motorcycles. And the worst thing was, it was the gypsy site behind the petrol station where I used to work on a weekend, and you could see the bike. It was there, right on the gypsy site. Rang the police. Oi, found my bike. You need to go and get it. It's on the gypsy site. Nah, mate, we're not going on there. They wouldn't go on. They wouldn't go and get the bike. Unbelievable. Anyway, so I got a TDR 250 after that. Woohoo! Where do we get to? Simon, sell them as not beef pie. Yes, they could call it beef pie with the word not stamped over it. That would be fine. But in my opinion, to call it a beef and cheese pie, there's clearly a trade descriptions issue going on there, because it's not beef. It's dumb, because you go and buy chicken, and they tumble chicken and put water in it. Well, there's lots of rules and regulations about how much water content they can put in chicken, but it is still chicken. Imagine going to go and buy a chicken breast and it's just a bottle of water and they call it chicken. It's not. And it's exactly the same with this beef pie. There's no beef in there. It's completely wrong. Anyway, somehow they seem to be able to get away with it. And it's not just the Wild Bean Cafe, it's many, many companies around the world are calling certain food things, and including a meaty name, beef, chicken, ham, whatever it is, lamb, and there's no content. There's zero content of that in there. It's got to be wrong. Sheldon, what about chicken bacon? No. Bacon comes from piggies. We know that. Isn't that right, Roger? Jim Haynes, raising taxes with all the other problems governments have caused just shows they could care less. They couldn't. I think what we mean is they couldn't care less about the citizens. I agree. Absolutely agree, Jim. I mean, the world's been spending a lot of money recently, and everything's getting way more expensive, and that steel price increase is just one more example of that. Fuel prices are going up, and that isn't just because of the war. Maybe they're just trying to get us all into electric cars. I don't know, but everything is just getting more expensive. Connor K, no beef. God help us all. Absolutely. Simon, was that a rant? I think it might have been, actually. It's Sunday morning rant. It's not often you get rants, but it's how I feel about it. If it's got it's whatever the label is on the packaging or on the sign in the shop, it actually has to reflect what it is you're buying. Otherwise, it's fundamentally flawed. There's a deliberate act to deceive the public, and that's wrong. I don't want to, what's going to happen when I go in and buy my regular gourmet steak and cheese pie, and I suddenly find out there's no moo cow in there? It's just made of stuff that grows in the ground. I don't want that. I want steak. That's why I'm buying it. Rant continued. Right, let's go and check on this pie. Oh, before I fall off my stool. Okay, dum 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 dum. You can hear the rain. Oh, good news. There appears to be no more ratties around. Now, the reason why we're checking it midway is because I don't know how well this thing's going to cook, given the fact it hasn't got any meat in it. What do you think? Oh, it's looking all right. We'll leave it in there a bit longer. It's got about another, I don't know, about another 3 minutes to go. Now, actually, I said there is no rat in the workshop. There is. Mr. Ratty is looking after Sheldon at the moment, just guarding the mill to make sure that nobody takes it out of the workshop. He's doing a pretty good job. Looks very relaxed though, doesn't he? Just chilled out. Sat on Sheldon. Good job. Yes. There's nothing else I can show you around here, to be honest. There really isn't. Yeah. I know, it needs a clean. It does. I haven't used that for a few weeks actually now. It's a lot better now it works with a new switch. Anyway. So you're going to ask me, Andy, what's on the agenda for today? Well, I think we've got just enough time for a quick cigarette before we have to do pie stuff. I don't know. Am I excited about this pie? I don't know. I don't think I am excited about the pie, in all honesty. It's sort of something I just have to do. I'm inquisitive. I want to find out. Where we are? Where are we? JJ has gone off on one. It's not often I have a bit of a rant. Oh, I could get the pen. Hang on, let me get the pen. We have the pen. I'm going to need that for later on. And I've got to keep an open mind. I mean, it's very difficult. I mean, put yourself in my position. I've got to do a review on a beef and cheese pie that I absolutely knowingly know, is that English, that hasn't got any beef in it. I mean, it would have been fairer if Mrs. Mechanic had just purchased the pie and said, hey, I've got your beef and cheese pie. Great, the new one from Wild Bean Cafe, perfect. And no mention of any kind of planty stuff. That would have been a bit more, I suppose, you know, fair for the pie. But it was me that bought the pie, and I'm fully aware of the fact that there's no beef in it. Man, it's raining hard now. I'm going to have to speak up a little bit, aren't I? Forgive me if it appears that I'm shouting at you. You're not even level, hang on. There we go. So what's on the agenda for today? Well, I've got some tidying up to do under the carport. A lot of Ben's stuff has gone now, and the remnants are all... I did try to do it tidily, but I found some more stuff that can go in a box, so I'm going to have another go at tidying it up, make a bit more space. Ultimately, the sandblasting cabinet's going to live outside. I know, moisture and all that, but it's going to be in a cupboard eventually. It should be fine. And of course, these air compressors are all going to be under there as well. I mean, it's very dry under the carport. It's really good. It's probably drier in there than it is in here, in all honesty. So I've got that to do. I've got to take the little trailer for tip. Mrs. Mechanic's been busily filling it up with rubbish, trying to tidy the place up, and it is pretty damn full at the moment. Lots of bamboo in there again, and rubbish bags and other stuff. Well, there's the pie. You may not have heard that, but the pie just went, well, the pie warmer just went ping. So 2 minutes and we'll go and get it. What else? What else have I got to do today? I might have a bit of a tidy for the workshop. The laser cutting for 2 batches of the support kits, the footwell support kits, are currently in production. They should be coming into the workshop in a couple of weeks. That'll be 900 pieces of steel to work, I suppose is the word. Drill holes and to finish and to prepare for paint, and all of them to paint. 900 pieces to paint. It's going to be a mammoth job, it really is. And they're actually getting quite urgent as well, so I've really got to push out all the stops to get that done. And I've now got 2 more ROVs to service as well, so I really want to get those done and out, before the steel turns up. Otherwise, it's just going to be chaos. It really is. We need to either have a servicing workshop doing the ROVs or have a fabrication workshop. The two things don't really go together, to be honest. And with 900 pieces of steel kicking around the workshop, that's a lot of bins of steel, and I'm going to need lots of bench space for it all. Poor benches, by the way, they're going to have a lot of weight on them, but they'll cope. I know they will. They'll be alright. So Sheldon the Mill is going to be back in action doing all the countersinking. Mrs. Mechanic's going to be back in action, doing all the final drill size holes. The new kit, the 700 kit, I've actually done it so that we shouldn't have to do any final drillings on it. The laser cut holes should be sufficient, and they're pretty damn accurate as well. So just trying to cut down on the amount of work that we have to do to get these kits out. Makes it more profitable, doesn't it? Jim, Mr. Haynes. Just a side note, Atlas Copco bought Chicago Pneumatic, as in CP Air Tools, a number of years ago, and have retained the quality they were known for. I did look at a Chicago Pneumatic, or a CP air hammer. It's one thing I don't have, and I do need to get one. Eric O's got a pretty damn good one. I forgot what he calls it now. You guys will know. Something like that would be quite useful to have around the workshop, I must admit. But I've never had one. I had one in the UK, I lie. I did have one in the UK, but obviously it got left behind. I haven't had one while I've been in New Zealand. But if you're going to get one, you need to get a bloody good one. So it's on my wish list. I'm going to get one of those. And I believe Chicago Pneumatic is a very, very good brand. So that's the one that I'm aiming for. There's not many retailers or outlets for that particular brand here in New Zealand, and they are pretty expensive. But hey, aren't all tools expensive these days? Good ones. So that's really all I have to do today. Given the weather, there's no filming going on. There's no way I can film like this. It's just horrendous. And it's pretty cold, in all honesty, as well. So it might be a short day. It might be a movie afternoon, and this is the kind we get finished in time. And then tomorrow morning, Monday, I have to head up to Auckland with the little trailer. And I'll be working on the police motorcycles all week. Well, I say all week until Thursday afternoon. And then I'll be heading home, ideally, Thursday afternoon. And then I'll be having Friday, Saturday, Sunday at home. Friday should be a day off for working yesterday. That's the plan. I've got lots to do, and I can get on with that service. Holy moly! Apologies for the sound quality, but it's raining inside the workshop again. Mike Wazowski fouled my chipper last week. What? Chipping pine limbs. Had to take it almost completely apart to clean the crap out. I won't make that mistake again. Wow. I don't have a chipper. I've never used a chipper actually. We should get one because we've got quite a few trees down the back that all need to be pruned back. Because I've got a big shed to build down there, so that'd be quite useful. And it'd be good for getting rid of the bamboo as well, because it just keep growing. Where do we get to? Pete! Good day, Andy and crew. Sounds like it's pouring. It is. How's the gas prices there? It's $7.09 a gallon for diesel. Holy shit. We have had a bit of a discussion earlier in the live stream about current fuel prices. Diesel here, cheapest, I think was $2.64. I've seen it for recently. Most expensive, $2.87, I think it was, something like that, 89. Pretty expensive. Give it a few more weeks, and I reckon there'll be some places in New Zealand, if they're not already, selling diesel for $3 a litre. It's just mind-blowing. I remember when I first came to New Zealand, it was just over $1 a litre, and it got to 98 cents a litre at one point. So 3 times the price. Crazy. Mike Allen, do you think it'll rain well? Yeah. I'm going to get really wet going for tip. I know. Simon, interesting thing I've seen on electric cars due to the extra mass of the car. They may put more particulate matter in the air due to the tyres. Particulate matter wearing faster. That's a very good point, Simon. I mean, at the end of the day, the basics are you're moving around more mass to get from A to B. And of course that takes more energy to do that. It's basic physics, isn't it? And then of course on top of that you've got the additional wear on tyres and additional wear on the roads as well here in New Zealand. Heavier vehicles, more wear and tear on the road surface. So the government is going to be implementing the same road user charges for electric vehicles and hybrids as they do, hybrids being petrol powered, as they do for the diesel vehicles. And I think rightly so, you know, I mean the roads are in a pretty bad state as it is, and you know, they need the money to fix them. They probably won't spend the money on fixing the roads, but they should do. Spencer M. Eric O's Astro Tools Thor. There you go. Oh, Thor. Good job. Thank you for that. Sheldon Diesel, 53 cents a litre in the early 90s. Really? Holy moly, that's cheap. Mike Adams, I paid $5.79 per gallon here in northeast Tennessee yesterday. Wow. It won't be long before you can't afford to use your car anymore. It's just getting ridiculous. Mike Adams, 18 months ago, I was only paying $1.74 a gallon. Isn't it incredible how the prices are suddenly rocketing? And that the recent massive increase really hasn't helped at all, has it? It's really sort of set the cat amongst the pigeons. I reckon that pie's ready. One more drag. Okay. Let's go and get the pie. The beef pie. Ish. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Pie time. This is it. This is what the live stream is all about. We've got 22 people in the world are going to realise what plant-based beef and cheese pie actually tastes like, and is it any good? Should it be any good? Or is it going to turn our world upside down? I don't know. Let's find out. Dom 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 dom. Boom. Right, here we go. Here we go. Camera, Andy, camera. There we go. That's better. Okay. So, quick structural integrity check. The lid. These are going to get stuck in my teeth, I know that. There's drips happening all around the workshop now. It's not good. We even got a drip in the house yesterday. It was raining that hard in the kitchen. So I'm going to have to go up on the roof when it dries out and have a little look, see what's going on. The underneath, absolutely perfect. I mean, from a structural integrity perspective, this pie is about as perfect as you can get. There's one little tiny crack there, but that's nothing. That's just superficial. Okay, are you ready for this? Any more comments? No more comments. We're going to go for this. Where do I start? Where's a good place to start? I don't know. It's just good. Okay. A nibble first. I had to force that down. I don't know. You know when you're given something to eat and you just don't want to eat it? I mean, it's the right sort of colour-ish, isn't it? Got a weird flavour to it. Where are we at? Simon, looks like dog meat. I mean, to be fair, Simon, I would agree with you, but we have also seen worse looking contents of proper moo cow pies, a moo cow derived pie. But I'm just imagining the machinery that's made this pie and putting the filling in and this like weird dollop going in. I don't know. But I've got to keep an open mind. The flavour, I've tasted worse pies. Oh, we've got a failure on the structure. Look at that. We've gained a huge crack across the lid. Interesting. So yeah, there's a really good view of the contents. Look at that. And the camera is even focused on it. I don't know. I think at this stage, if you are really, really starving and this was the last pie in the pie warmer at the petrol station, would I buy it? No, I'd drive to another petrol station. I wouldn't buy it. Just out of principle. Out of taste, it's not what I'm expecting. It does taste a little bit different. It doesn't taste really a beef flavour. I get the impression that they've really tried to boost the flavour of beef to try and make the contents taste of a beefy flavour. You get my drift? It definitely tastes an artificial beef flavour, almost like you maybe get on crisps or something, or maybe in gravy. I don't know, yeah, sort of some of the cheap gravies. But yeah, there's no meaty chunks. It's just like a slurry. It's a bit weird. Okay. Okay. Taste stroke flavour. I mean, the pastry's fine. It's just wild bean cafe pastry. Pastry's not an issue. Contents? There is a little bit of cheese. You can just see the cheese just oozing out the top there, look. But beefy flavour. And I'm trying to be really fair on this. I am, because I know there are some non-meat eaters out there, and that's fine. That's entirely their choice. They can be wrong if they want to be. But taste stroke flavour, as regards a beef pie, 3. It's going to get a 3. I'm not impressed by the flavour. Structure falling apart this, well, it's a bit early to tell that one yet, but we have, like I say, got that big crack up here. I'm going to manage that. I'm going to start eating this area here next to try and retain and gain back some kind of integrity. Runnability test. It's still nice and hot. It's not over hot. It is just about edible. For those that have just joined us for the pie review, the runnability test is a 45-degree angle for 30 seconds. So I'm not sure how well it's going to do. It's quite slurryish. That's a good 45 degrees going on there. Can you see any kind of movement? No, it's pretty rock solid, isn't it? It's probably all the preservatives in there that's holding it together, and all the chemicals that somebody mentioned. I've no idea what's in it. I can't find any kind of data sheet, giving the ingredients of this particular non-meat pie. So that's a pass. So we have to give it a 10. We have to give it a 10. We don't have a choice. Meat quality. There isn't any. It has to get a 0. It has to, because there's no meat. 0. That might seem harsh, but I can't give it a score. There's no meat in it. It's basically a vegetable pie. So 0 for that. Pie to crust ratio. This is the contents to the casing of the pie ratio. Does it have a lot of contents versus the pastry? Because end of the day, it's all about the contents, isn't it? The pastry is merely a carrier, a vessel for said contents. Probably about a 50-50 ratio on that. The corners are not over. I mean, you can see there's an air gap right up to the corner there, look. So it's not like some pies where that whole corner's filled in with pastry. That's not the case. Although it is quite thick down here, look. That might just be That was just folded over. It's not too bad. Okay. What am I going to give it? It tastes a bit like eating an oxo cube. That's what it tastes like. Pie to crust ratio. It's not bad. We've seen a bit better. I'm going to give it a 7. Availability logistics. Well, these pies are available at all the Wild Bean Cafe petrol stations. They're all over the country. They come ready to eat. They're already pre-warmed. That's one thing to bear in mind. You can't order them online. 7, I think, for that one. I think 7's fair. I mean, these scores may vary a little bit from pie to pie, but it's a rough guide, isn't it? Pastry taste rating. Okay, well, here we go. Seems we've got that huge flap. I'm going to take the whole flap off. Right, there is no... I know you said meat. There is no contents. That is just pastry. Listen to the rain. Pastry's pastry. It's not bad. Okay. 8. I think I actually quite like the Wild Bean Cafe's pastry. Oh, incidentally, on the weather forecast now that I can get on my phone, it tells you how much in-depth water is going to come out of the sky by the hour. And if you add it all up, we're due about an inch of rain depth today. That's quite a lot. 25 mil, I would estimate. Okay, there you go. Good look at the contents of the lid being peeled off. Oh, there we go. It does look quite slurryish, doesn't it? Okay, I'm going to take that as a complete bite. As it's cooling down, its flavour is deviating further and further away from what I know what beef tastes like. And I've eaten a lot of moo cow over the years, and I know what it should taste like. That's not it. It really isn't. It's just weird. I mean, don't get me wrong. If somebody eats this that has never eaten moo cow before, they wouldn't know any better. They go, oh, that was a wonderful beef and cheese pie made of plants and stuff. But if you've eaten beef and you've eaten steak and you know what it tastes like, and you know how it should be cooked, and you it just, every mouthful, your brain's going, this isn't beef, this isn't beef, this isn't moo cow, why are you eating it? You know? I'm trying to fight that at the moment. Still tasty when cold. I think it'll taste absolutely disgusting when it's cold, in all honesty. But we'll try and let it cool down. It's cooling down pretty quick, so we'll score that one near the end. Packaging design. Well, it's just the regular bag, isn't it? There's no packaging whatsoever. Probably about 5 minutes on Photoshop, as we know. It's pretty basic. At least they've put the logo on there. At least they're owning the pie, giving it a brand. What do we give the other ones? I think probably about a 5 or a 6. Maybe a 6. It's not great. Recyclable score. Well, that's not about the pie, it's about the bag. Dispose of the bag thoughtfully and recycle where possible. So it is recyclable. It's only a paper bag. It gets a 10. This is quite worrying that the scores are starting to, you can see why some pies, because we're looking at a broader spectrum of scores, or attributes, should I say, you can see why some really crappy tasting pies could actually still get a reasonable score if they score high in some of the sort of non-direct pie areas. Pie server attractiveness. It was a bloke. It was a bloke in Taupo that served me. Young lad, very helpful. What do you give him? It's difficult. I mean, he wasn't ugly. He wasn't like, Herman Munster. or the Elephant Man. 5, middle of the road. Maybe a 6. I'll give him a 6. I'm sure there's some young ladies out there would like the look of him. Okay, so let's keep going. I don't really want to, but let's keep going. Oh yeah. It really is like, it's almost like now trying to, you know, you find the gravy left over from the, you know, and this is gravy made from like Bisto gravy granules, you know, from a, to dilute kind of gravy stuff, not the stock from when you cook the meat. This is sort of man-made gravy stuff. It's a bit like when you find the gravy dish at the end of the meal, it's gone cold, you don't want to waste it, you get a big spoon in there, and it's sort of gone, it's sort of congealed, and you scoop it out and you have a mouthful of gravy. Not that I really ever do that, but that's what it seems to be tasting like now, where the gravy's gone cold, or just lukewarm, and it's sort of globular and gooey and doesn't actually really taste very nice. Where do we get to? Oh, Jim K. Sorry, Jim. Bear with me, people. Let me scroll back a little bit. Simon, looks like dog meat does. Mike Adams. To me, vegetarian meat makes even less sense than near beer. Funny guy. Jim K! It's raining here also. It must be a bloody big cloud, Jim, that's stretching all the way across to the States. Pete, is that one of your new cups? No, this is a cup. This cup here is a cup. I think this is Mechanic got me this a few years ago. It's just got old acid bikes on there. Look. I do like it. Just the first one out of the cupboard this morning. I don't have to brand the channel all the time, do I? Jim Haynes for air hammers, the CP714 for a 401 shank is the king of control and hits hard also. In the .498 shank, it's the CP717 or the Astro 4980 is as what Eric has. The 498K/4 is limited production US item only. You see he's spoiled, isn't he? Let me take a photo of that, because that's actually really useful information. Thank you, Jim. I'll do some more research again. I might have to try and get one in the next few weeks. Here we go. I've captured it. Right, back to the pie. Jim Haynes, you would almost need to have an air hammer sent to you, as I'm sure locally in New Zealand those tools I listed will be outrageously expensive, and the cheapy ones aren't worth. Yes, maybe, Jim K, maybe I'll get you to buy me one and send it over. That might be the best way. And then that way you can get me a Thor if you can get hold of one. Oh, we've got cheese oozing from the top. We've found the cheese. Very good idea, Jim. Pete. The Astro 4980 is the hardest hitting air hammer I have used. Oh, thanks, Pete. I don't think the heavy stuff is coming for a while. Okay. J Funk, that's a new one. Morning, J Funk. Next time you're in Wellington, check out Patricia's Pies in Island Bay, and surprising Penturn Pack and Save. Great steak and cheese pies. Another photo. I need that because I'll be going to Wellington when I head down to South Island in a few weeks. So I'll do that. Very good idea. I'll check that out. Doctor of Computers. Hit the like button. Cheers, mate. 15 likes, 27 viewers, 29 viewers. Half of you haven't clicked the like. Oh, I wasted some cheese. Look, it's gone on the bag. Hang on. Waste not, want not. Okay. Actually, the cheese tasted pretty good. The cheese on its own. A lot of cheese now. That suddenly picked up the flavour of the pie, but it's not the beef, non-beef that's done that. Okay. Simon, the UK, they sell meat-free kebab. What? They sell meat-free kebab meat. Make of that what you will. What's going on in the world? That's all I can say. Mike Bazansky, I like me some real meat kebabs. Yes, I do like meat kebabs, actually. Often I'll stop in Matamata and go to a little restaurant called Fez Kebabs and pick up tea from there. And it's not bad, actually. It's not bad at all. You can have lamb and chicken mixed meat in your kebab on rice. And that usually does me for the evening. It's pretty nice, actually. And it's real meat, by the way. Well, it's weird. The initial bite, the initial flavours aren't too bad. I'm using that within context. But as the flavour stays on your tongue, it quickly deviates away from that known as beef flavour. And it has this funny kind of kick to it, of something that's like unexpected. Oh, I wasn't expecting that flavour. Let's go again. And it happens all over again. See, now it's cooling down. It's just sort of getting gooey and weird. And the cheese keeps sticking to a moustache, as you can tell. It's like glue. The last bit. Every mouthful is a little bit of a struggle to swallow it. Whether that's something psychological or whether it's just because of the flavour, I couldn't tell you. But what's still to score? Structure Foley Partners. We've got a big crack in the lid. It started off really, really well. Nothing fell off. Good management. I'm still inclined to give it an 8. I think Structure Foley Partners, it deserves an 8. It wasn't bad at all, in all honesty. Still tasty when cold? No. Bloody disgusting when it's cold. It's only going to get a 1. I can't give it a 0. Can I give it a 0? I'm going to give it a 0. I think it would taste horrible cold. You just wouldn't want to eat it. You just put it in the bin. You can't warm it up again. You just put it in the bin. You wouldn't eat it. Post-pie heartburn. There hasn't been any. I did have a couple of burps from the coffee before I started eating the pie. So I've got to discount that. I really sort of forced that one, to be honest. I'm feeling like a 9. A 9. For now. A 9 for now. Okay. The last bit. It's going in. Never to eat another non-beef pie. That's my pledge. It's not very nice. It's not nice. When it cools down, man, that's not a nice pie. Oh, another drip on the bench. Oh, away from Ted's book. Jeez, not doing that. Move it over there. Look. Right. Stuffability score. Well, I will say this. It's put me off wanting to eat anything else. That's something quite different to being stuffed. Do I want to eat something else? I do. I want to eat something else only because I want to have a flavour in my mouth that represents what what I'm expecting to eat. Not because I'm hungry. Am I stuffed? If the definition of stuffed is that you don't want to eat any more, then the answer would be yes. Am I still hungry? I'm not actually, not really. I'm going to give it an 8. I don't feel contented though. I feel like I've been robbed of my pie experience. I have not been given the flavours and the satisfaction that I expected to get from my morning pie. Sorry, Wild Bean Cafe, but it's true. What do I give it? It's a bit of a dilemma, isn't it? So when you factor all of that in, you know, when you've had a nice big meal, a big roast beef and Yorkshire puddings and stuff, and you sit there at the end and you're bloated and you go, oh, that was a great meal, I'm stuffed. You know, it's that satisfaction has to roll into it as well. It's not just about your stomach being full or overfull. It's about being content, and I'm not content. 6. I'm going to give it a 6. Okay, have we got them all? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have all the scores in. Let me get rid of the bag with the cheese on it. Let me get rid of that. Oh, missed the bin. Okay. Ooh, that was a genuine burp. Roast pie heartburn. That was a big one. And another one. It's gone down to 7. Okay, let's get the scores done. Here we go. How will it turn out? I don't know. Rain's down. Big time. Okay, I'll speak up and I'm really close to the camera, so you should be able to hear me okay. 11, 21, 28, 35, 43, 49, 59, 66, 72, 78. Is that right? It's just it seems a bit high. Let's give it another go. Okay, 11, 21, 28, 35, 43, 49, 59, 66, 73, oh hang on, 66, 73, 79, what the hell? Have I gone completely bonkers this morning? 11, 21, 28, 35, 43, 49, 59, 66, 66, 73, 79, 85. What the hell? Is that right? 85? I think it is. Tell me if I'm wrong. Honestly, I can't add up this morning. I've got 85. I must have missed the last one. 85. I need verification on those figures, please, people. Let me know. Is my addition correct? Right, so it's Wild Bean Cafe. I'm going to put not good idea beef and cheese. Man, my stomach's starting to rumble now. Not for good reasons, by the way. 85. I hope that's the right score. Right, okay, let's go and see where it ends up on the board. Now, just before we do that, bear in mind that the big scores for this pie was the runnability, because it was really, really sort of globular. Is that going to get rid of the... Yeah, look, 10. So it got 10 for runnability, high score. It didn't get anything for meat quality. It didn't get anything for still tasty when cold. But it did score very high on the recyclable. That's for the packaging again. So that's not pie related. Pastry, see, the pastry was still pretty good, but the contents, it was the non-meat contents that was very, very weird indeed. So it only got 3 for that. So it scored very poorly on the contents. Pie to crust ratio was quite high. You know, there was quite a lot of contents. Yeah, I mean, that's just the way it turns out, but 85 does seem quite high. I'm going to add something on here. I can't put that on the board with a score of 85 because some people might think that, hey, 85 is not a bad score, let's get one of those. Taste like shit. There you go. I think that probably identifies it better. Okay, right, to the board. Simon's saying it like shit as well. Okay, thanks, Simon. Right, 85. Oh, we can just about squeeze it in there, look, can't we? We can just squeeze it in there. I'll move them all around a bit later on so we've got some more space. There we are, look, that works. Hey, that works. It works brilliantly. Okay, so it's definitely below midway. Oh, look at that. That's extremely sad. It scored higher than Starbucks steak and cheese. Now, clearly, if I had a choice in those two, I would still very much buy the Starbucks steak and cheese. Where would I put it on there if it was just down to taste? That wasn't very nice at all. I would probably stick it right down the bottom. If it was just taste, it would definitely go down there if it was taste alone. But this survey isn't taste alone. And unfortunately, and I say this, you know, completely honestly, unfortunately, the fact that it's a wild bean cafe pie and it's available around the country and all that kind of stuff, it inflates the score. It sort of makes it unrealistic. It doesn't really reflect the true pie just being the pie. So it very much is highlighted. Sometimes, you know, it's the data that you gather or score can throw, you know, wild cards, and this one has scored a lot higher than what I believe that pie is justified for. I really do. I mean, if the same pie, exactly the same pie, was sold in a corner shop in the middle of nowhere, and only in that corner shop, and they sold it in a plastic bag, generic, so there was no design or anything, the score would plummet. It would be down, probably down into the 50s. You know? Simple as that, really. Okay, right. Back to the bench. Look at all the water, look. There's drips everywhere. Oh, yeah, on the beam. There, look, see? Water dripping down there. We've got some more water dripping on there. Man. Oh, look at this lot over here. Holy crap. There, look. Water coming in there. What is that? Is that a wasp's nest? It bloody is, isn't it? It's a bloody wasp's nest. It's an old one. Got a bloody wasp's nest in the workshop. Can't be having that. We'll go down and pull that later on. Holy moly. This side of the workshop doesn't seem to get any drips. This side's alright. This is the later roof. I mean, there's no... Oh, I tell a lie. There's a drip there. There, look. There he is. One drip on this side. Because sometimes I used to keep my rulers, these, my meter rulers, and this one, my square, my big square, I used to keep those on the bench. And you can see the rust mark down here, look. Obviously, while I'm away during the week, it's rained in and it's caused it to rust. So I spent ages wire brushing this. You can see all the marks on it, trying to clean it up, because I do use it a lot and it was looking pretty sad, unfortunately. So it's back to its good order again now, and I put a little film of oil on it to stop it from rusting. But yeah, a lot of rain. Oh, there goes another one down here, look. Another drip. See, my lights have gone out. I don't know what's going on there. I think I must admit, I unplugged it, look, from Mrs. Mechanic. She was shut. Look at the wiring. It's great, isn't it? Any over here? Honestly, who would wander around his workshop looking for drips? No, we're not too bad around this area, which is good. See all the moisture, look. Even the pillar drill's starting to get rusty again. I need to give that a wire brush and spray some oil on it. But it's going to get used a lot shortly, so it'll clean up. It'll be alright. Okay, enough of that. Back to the bench. I need a cigarette after that pie. Jeez. Okay. 85. Honestly. Why? Why did it get 85? It really, for me, if it was just on flavour and satisfaction, it would have been way, way less than that. On the leaderboard, as I've explained. It might still plummet further. That's another bird. I'm going to review that score. Did I get it right? 78. Yeah? I'm going to add it again. I just feel it doesn't feel right. Hang on. 11, 21, 28. 21. Where's my phone? I'm going to do this on my calculator. Honestly, I need to know exactly what it is because it's bugging me now. Normally, I'm really good at adding stuff up. So, 3 plus 8 plus 10 plus 7 plus 7 plus 8 plus 6 plus 10 plus 7 plus 6 plus 6 equals 78. What the hell? How did I get 85? I must have counted that last one twice. Right, back to the board. We're not having this. That pie's been overinflated. Bum, 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 bum. Right, hang on. Get me lid off my pen. I don't think so. 78. That's more like it. Right, where's 78? Down here, look. I need to move a few of these down. I knew there was something not quite right. It just didn't feel right. Live TV affects your edition, I think. Oh, crap. Right, okay. It's going down. It's going down. Honestly, what happened there? So I was right first time. There you go, look. 78. That's more like it, isn't it? So we're only... yeah, that was crap. Didn't like that. No, baked sugar steak. Yeah, that's more realistic. And I mean, if we took off the additional marks for the benefits that it got because it was sold by Wild Bean Cafe, man, it'll be right down the bottom. It will be the worst pie on the leaderboard, and it's certainly the worst pie that I've tasted. Beyond any doubt. And it was that aftertaste. It was that funny, weird aftertaste. Okay, thank you very much, those helping with my addition. We all make mistakes. Okay, that's that done. Cool. Being kind, I think Starbucks is just overpriced crap in every way. I've had some good coffees. The Starbucks in Invercargill, they do a pretty good coffee, to be honest. I've had plenty. That's my go-to for coffees. Where are we? Oh, I think that one's all gone. It has. Get rid of those. Missed. Nice colander. Sorry, Ruth. Don't get me started on the roof problems, Simon. Honestly, it's an absolute pain in the ass. Good news though, Ben is coming down for a whole week in July, and we're going to start building the other carport. Now, you may say, well, Andy, why are you building another carport when the roof is leaking above the normal workshop? Well, part of that build will include another roof going over the top of the main workshop, this workshop. We're going to retain the original roof, then there'll be an air gap, and then there'll be a second roof. And the reason for that is it will dramatically cool down the workshop in the summer months, to the point where I don't think I'll need aircon. That's the plan. So spend the money on another roof, it solves the water ingress problem, and it solves the over temperature problem, the overheating issue that we're getting in the workshop during the summer months, and only on some days. And it's permanent. There's no running costs. You pay for it once, that's it, done. Doesn't add to your electric bill. So that's my plan. We're going to do that, and I think it'll work just fine. So where do we get to next? Mike Bazansky, maths is hard. I don't know what happened there, people. I mean, you've seen the evidence. Normally, I'm really good at adding stuff up. I used to do marking for the students all the time. Just for some reason, that combination of numbers, it threw me this morning. I wasn't focused. Graham McLucky, good morning, Andy and crew. With an E on the end. Normally it's W. Yeah. Good morning, Graham. Welcome back to the live stream, mate. Ron Jones, I live in Northern California. What the hell is that sound? I don't recognize it. That sound is rain. Rain on my mainly roof and partly hull area. Raining lots. Yes. So it doesn't rain in Northern California, obviously. Ron Jones, we have 2 seasons, summer and fall. Very funny. So, we're an hour and 37. Man, that pie review took ages. It took ages to eat, in all honesty. It took ages to force it down. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. If it was just based on the pie, it would have scored incredibly badly. And I believe quite justified. I'm not making it up. It just didn't taste like beef. And in all honesty, it just didn't taste very nice, regardless of what they call the filling. It just didn't taste very nice, and as soon as it lost its temperature, the flavouring, it just plummeted. It just became a chore eating it. It wasn't enjoyable. I just had to get rid of it. It had to go down. I almost put it in the bin, but I don't like waste, and I was still hungry, so I ate it. It's gone now. It'll turn into poo in a few hours' time. This is what it deserves, in all honesty. So. Yes, I'm probably going to get really wet. I've got to move the trailers around. I'll need to use Trevor the tractor for that. I'm going to be out in the pouring rain. I'll have to try and... I think I'll tidy up the workshop and the carport. I'll start doing that. If we get a break in the rain, that's when I'll move the trailers around and head off down to the tip. I'll try and work smart so I don't get drenched. So, before we sign off, because we've still got about 3 minutes to go, any more questions? Any more questions? What have you guys been up to this last week? You know what I'm doing next week. I just got out of bed, spelling mistake. You don't need to apologise, man. Your spelling is still way better than my maths this morning. So you're all good, mate. You're all good. So yes, what have you guys been doing this last week? What have you got planned? What have you got coming up? Mr. Ben's coming down. Mr. Ben, that's what we call him. Ben's coming down in a couple of weeks for 4 days for a long weekend with us, which would be nice. We have a new bank holiday in New Zealand. It is. Hang on, bear with me. I'll have to find out when it is actually. Let's Google. I looked at it last night. New bank holiday. New Zealand. Matariki public holiday is now on Friday, the 24th of June. What the hell? I've got another day off work. 24th. Oh, so I get the following Friday off. So a week on Friday then that is. That'll be cool. I look forward to that. We have a lot of bank holidays in New Zealand. An awful lot. That's the live stream. Ron Jones, also true. Thank you. Simon Roll. 4 to a scene fair in the morning. 4 to a scene fair. English, Simon. English. Jim K. Andy turns singles and a heater today. Huh? Have you guys stopped writing proper English anymore? I have no idea what you're on about, Jim. I could do with a heater. The heater for the workshop is currently in the shed next door, which is buried under a lot of stuff, so that's not going to happen. I mean, the doors are going to be open. I'm just going to put a jacket on. I've got a big hoodie with and stuff, so that'll keep nice and warm. Peter Swatman, make sure you report any after effects of the pie. Very good call. Yes. Stay close to the lavatory. I will. I'll do my best anyway. Jim K. And everyone wants their items 2 weeks ago. Yeah, everybody wants the ASAP now. Ron Jones. Hiding inside from the 38 plus degree weather. Well, thanks, Ron. Appreciate that. Made me feel great. Off. Simon Rowe, off. Hang on, let's go back. Oh, off to a steam fair in the morning. Off to a steam fair. We just missed out the tea as well. Off to a good. Steam fairs are fun. I used to go to the one in Pickering. The steam fair at Pickering. Bloody good tractor pull. I like watching the tractor pulls. They're awesome. There was an old Zill turned up once. It was a 131 like the one I had. But the guy had put some monster diesel engine in it and it won the tractor pull. Absolutely pissed it. He went through the hedge at the end of the run and kept going. It was impressive. And his front wheels were off the ground for the entire run. Just floored it. I think the following run he did, he ripped a prop shaft. But the first run he did, very impressive. Way, way more torquey than the tractors. Roger Heaps, when you back down this way? Well, Roger, it's sort of in flux at the moment. The South Island, I've still got a few more motorcycle shops to visit here in the North Island. They've sort of been put on hold until I can get these police bikes sorted out. And then I'll get those wrapped up. It'll take me a week and I'll get them all done. And then I'll have another week's admin and then I'll be heading down to the South Island again. I don't know whether I'm flying down or driving down yet. It's not yet been decided. Fingers crossed I'll be driving down. I'll take the little trailer, go and pick up some more bikes. That'll be fun. Who knows? But yeah, I think by the looks of it, I want to be down to the South Island once more this year. I might get another run into the South Island towards the back end of the year, maybe November time. We'll just have to wait and see. It all depends on other workload, other commitments, that kind of stuff. Ron Jones, from the sounds I hear, you could swim down. Yes. We've had a horrendous amount of rain the last week. The wheelbarrow, which was empty 2 days ago, is now full to the brim. It's not under a roof or partly under a roof, so the rainwater that's in the wheelbarrow is purely from the catchment area of the top surface of the wheelbarrow. And it's probably about 10 inches deep, maybe a foot deep. We've had a hell of a lot of rain. Probably 7 or 8 inches, because obviously it's tapered. Maybe more in the last week. So it's just been unbelievable, it really has. Scott, caught the last 10 minutes. We'll have to watch in the morning. Sorry, Scott. Yes, we're just about to sign off, finish the cigarette, and then we're gone. So, crew, thank you very much for joining me today. It's been quite an experience. It's been a milestone in the pie world. Never ever to go to another vegetable-based meaty pie ever again. It's not going to happen. Simon, normally found some good quality tools on the stalls at the steam fairs. Boxes of brand new files that last last time, £1 a box. What the hell? Seriously, that's cheap. That's really good. I do like rummaging around the old car boot sales where there's the tools for sale. It's amazing what you come across. I do still have... Hang on, coffee time. Cold coffee. Yeah, I've still got some tools from... Oh, it's that pie. That's what it is. It's the bloody pie. Yeah, still got some tools from the UK that I bought for car boot sales. They're all in the silver shed. And when I get that pulled apart, they'll end up in this workshop and we'll take a look at them and see what I bought when I was a child, I think. Many, many, many years ago. I think there's some of my dad's tools in there as well, actually. A little hand drill. I'm sure I've got that somewhere. Anyway, we're signing off. So, the guys, comments, Ron Jones, always a pleasure. I'm going to go outside and see if my Z900 RS has spontaneously combusted later. Well, good luck with that. Take the fire extinguisher. Scott, you ever been to Rochdale, Andy? I've been to Rochdale many times. I have. Okay, crew. Well, again, thank you for joining me on this really wet and windy morning here in New Zealand. I will see you again next Sunday, 8:30 AM. As always, will there be any more videos hitting the channel in the next week? I have to say it probably not, unfortunately. I can't do any filming today. The rain is horrendous. It's dripping all over the benches. And I've got stuff to do, in all honesty. It's quite nice to just do a half day. Maybe next weekend, because it's a long weekend for me, because I've got the Friday off. Maybe on the Sunday I can do some filming. The weather is supposed to be a lot better by now. If you want to support the channel financially, you can do that through Patreon or PayPal. Very simple. Oh, geez, there goes the pie again. But that score is plummeting, believe me. There are links on the main homepage of the YouTube channel. Okay, crew, thank you again for joining. Really, really appreciate your time. And thanks for all your support in getting through that pie. All right, crew, cheers. Over and out.